Hello. Today I'm going to talk about exemplification, a word with many syllables that just means to create examples. This is a hard subject for me to talk about because I like to explain things by creating examples, and to try to show an example of an example would just make me dizzy. So instead, let's start with a definition. We can say that an example is a specific member of a general group. I've included a link in the written introduction that you read before starting this video to a page discussing what I mean by specific and general, and by group, I mean a collection of items that share aspects. A group is defined by the aspects shared by the group's members. This commonality, thus, gives us writers an opportunity to give information about a group by showing the important aspects of one of the group's members. The member that a writer describes thereby becomes an example. Now, I'm going to try to talk more specifically about how to create an example. The thing to remember is that the job of an example is to explain a group or condition by presenting the most important aspects. For instance, I can pretty confidently call myself an example of the group of teachers, by which I mean you can learn more about the general group of teachers by looking at the specific example of me. And I can say that because I have aspects that help to define that group, such as interest in learning and public speaking ability. I can claim that most teachers have these aspects, and so do I. Therefore, looking at me will give you a better idea of what it is to understand a teacher. I have other aspects, of course, but I don't share these aspects necessarily with the group, so I don't mention them. They wouldn't help my reader understand my example. What I want my reader to know is that by looking at me, a reader can more easily understand what a teacher is. Now, you might have noticed when I said a minute ago that part of an example's job is to explain a condition. By that word, I mean a state of being, or a way that something is. When you notice that a condition is general, it's something that applies all the time, you can probably see how an example can work to explain it by presenting a specific happening within the condition that you want to explain. An example of a condition would be something that happens because of that condition, something that shares the aspect of that condition. Let me try to give you an example of what I'm talking about. To express a condition, I can say something like, I love my wife. That love is a way that I am. It is a condition affecting every part of my life. But it's not always clear what someone means when they say a word like love. It is a subjective term. So, to explain that love, I might try to give an example, a specific happening that condition explains. I might say something like, I do the laundry. That action is a happening within the condition of my love for my wife. And the aspects of it explain what I mean when I say love. Laundry's not always pleasant, but I do it because I want to spare my wife unpleasantness, and that is an example of what I mean by love. For instance, I could write a paragraph listing the other aspects of that happening to show what I mean when I say I love my wife, and that would be another way to use an example. So I hope this lecture will help you as you add more examples to your writing. Readers most easily understand specific information, so writing that offers examples communicates particularly well. Keep practicing. And as always, thank you for your time and attention.